Welcome back to my channel. So today I figured I will give you a quick update, as I promised in the last video, as well as doing 50 questions I never been asked before YouTube tag. I hope I said that correct. So as I said yesterday, we moved into a new house about an hour away from where I originally lived at. And I like the house a lot better because it's bigger. It's actually bigger than my parents' place. I don't have to deal with pellets anymore because in the old house we had a pellet burner that warmed up the house. So I would have to carry down sacks of pellets down to the basement and put them in the pellet burner bin. And the thing is, the stairs going down to the basement didn't have any railings, so I had to be very careful when I went down the stairs. And this is especially tricky when there's snow and ice on the stairs. And it's kind of funny how things happen because, you know, back before we looked at this house and stuff, I didn't have an issue with it. And then once we saw this house and it had heating and air conditioning, among other things, I was delighted because I didn't have some of that in my old house. That meant no more going outside, very cold, and putting pellets into the pellet burner and going downstairs, which is treacherous if there's snow and ice on them, because I almost fell a few times this past year. So, and I got a dishwasher now, so it doesn't take me like a half hour to an hour to do dishes anymore. And so, yeah. And also at the beginning of the month, I turned 37 on March 8th. We've had several birthdays in the family. My mother-in-law, my brother-in-law, my niece. My niece is celebrating her birthday this weekend, though. But the biggest thing that we mostly had was like 2 weeks of no internet. That was kind of brutal for me. And it's funny because you think that, especially if you grew up in a time before you had the internet, it's kind of funny how you suddenly really feel like you need the internet once you lose it. And I do need the internet in a way. I need the internet for you guys, and I need the internet to promote my book and all this other stuff. So, yeah, and also to do research for my novels. So, yeah. That's what's going on, and so let's move on to the questions. So, the 50 questions I've never been asked before. What is your favorite candle scent? God, do I have to choose one? Here's the thing about me, and I think I've said this before, I don't remember, but I'm very eclectic and stuff. In other words, I like a lot of variety and stuff. So, my favorite candle scents are vanilla and lavender and coffee, basically. So, what family celebrity do you wish was your sister? Usually when it comes to celebrities, I think more than just if it would be sisters or brothers or whatnot. I mean, most of the time I fantasize about working with people because I do want to work in the entertainment industry and all this other stuff. And the ones I really like, I usually have some sort of sexual attraction to. But for sister, maybe Thora Birch, because she kind of reminds me of me a little bit. I mean, we're born the same year, too. And sometimes I look a bit like her, though not completely. I don't know. I think Thora Birch would be a good sister for me to have because we're born the same year and stuff. Anne Hathaway would be another good choice, too, to have a sister. And maybe Lucy Lawless as an older sister and stuff. I don't know. Well, male celebrity you wish was your brother? Oh, God. I guess most of the male celebrities I usually want to have sex with. Let's see. Actually, I would like to have Trevor Noah be a brother of mine. I really do think he would be a good brother and stuff. Who else? I think Topher Grace from the 70s Show would be a good brother. Yeah, that's what I think. So, next question. How old do you think you'll be when you get married? As long as I'm in the relationship that I am in now, never. My significant other is completely against marriage, and I'm not going to go into why because that's very personal, and besides, I think that's up for him to talk about and not me. But he's very against the idea of getting married. If something would ever happen to him or things don't work out, which technically, here's the thing. I'm technically considered to be in common law right now. And I've been in common law since 24, 25 years old. But the thing is, I'm with my significant other and he doesn't want to get married and I don't care about getting married so much. So yeah. Brutal honesty there. Now, here's the thing. If something would happen to him, like I said, if something would happen to him or he dies, like if he dies or we break up or something, it would depend. If I want to get married to someone, yeah, but I'm not going to set a date by when I want to be married by. I want it to happen when it happens, basically. And even now, if he would have a change of heart, I would be cool with it. But I can't give you an exact age of when I want to get married by. Or when I think I'll get married. Because I don't know. Next question. Do you know a hoarder? Yes, I do. Can you do a split? Once upon a time. I am a former competitive dancer, and I used to be able to do a right split perfectly. And straddle is okay, but I know girls who can go completely down, and I did that a little bit, but not as good as them. And left split was absolutely laughable. The thing is, I just lost a lot of my flexibility when I gave birth to the kids, and it doesn't help that I lost some of my flexibility too because of my ankle and all. So, yeah. How old were you when you learned how to ride a bike? About 6. Yeah, 6. How many oceans have you swum in? Probably 1. But I swam on different sides of the ocean. I swam in the Atlantic Ocean on the east coast of the U.S., and I swam in the Atlantic Ocean in Sweden. So, I've always swam in one ocean, so yeah. How many countries have you been to? I think 10. Obviously I'm from the U.S., but not counting the country that I'm from, Sweden, which I currently live in, Norway, Denmark, Germany, Estonia. I should probably do this in the order that I've been to those countries. Okay, let me do this. Sweden is the first country I've ever been to. And then Denmark, and then Germany, and then Norway. Let's see. Poland, Hungary, Slovakia, Romania, and Estonia. So 9 if you don't count the U.S. But if you want to count the U.S., 10 then. 10. Is anyone in your family in the Army? Yeah, my dad was in the Army. What would you name your daughter if you had one? I have a daughter and all, but I don't want to reveal what her name is. But what I can do is give you guys a name that I wanted to name her, but we went with the one that my significant other wanted to name her. I wanted to name a daughter of mine Genevieve, and that didn't happen. So instead, I gave the name Genevieve to one of my characters in my novel, Immortal Love. And what would you name your son if you had one? Again, I have a son. And again, I'm not going to tell you his name. But I will tell you is one of the names I wanted to give him. And I wanted to name him Chris after my uncle that died when I was 7. 13. What's the worst grade you got on a test? An F. An F. I don't remember the worst percentage I ever gotten, but I remember it was an F. Next question. What was your favorite TV show when you were a child? Oh God, I had a lot of them. When I was a very little one, I liked something like Rainbow Bright, Care Bears, My Little Pony. And as I got older, I liked stuff like Bucky O'Hare, Sonic the Hedgehog. Let's see, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So yeah, shows like that. Oh yeah, and Power Rangers too. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to be exact. What did you dress up on Halloween when you were 8? Oh God. Let's see, that was what? Nearly 30 years ago. It'll be 30 years next year, because I'm turning 38 next year, but... Oh, so that's like 29 years ago. Shit. I think... Let me see if I can remember this quickly. I know I was a ladybug when I was 6. I was a fairy when I was 7. What was I when I was 8? I know I was a dead person when I was 9. I was a zombie or something when I was 9. What the hell? And I was Bucky O'Hare when I was 10. But what the hell was I when I was 8? That's funny. I can remember what I was the years before I was 8 and the years after I was 8. But I can't remember what I was when I was 8. I'll come back to that one if I remember it. So, next question is, have you read any of the Harry Potter, Hunger Games, or Twilight series? I've read Harry Potter, and I unfortunately read Twilight. And, Harry Potter I liked a lot, and Twilight... not so much, but it's not the worst thing I ever read. So, they have that going for them. And yes, I read, I think 4 books of Twilight. So, yeah. My brother says in a review of my book that the Twilight series did not influence me, and he's absolutely right about that. Especially since I think I began writing Immortal Love before it actually was published. And all. But I was still working on my novel when the movies were out. And I read the books just to keep up with the movies, and I did all this just to out of morbid curiosity and because I am into vampires and stuff. So yeah. Would you rather have an American accent or a British accent? While it could be fun to do a British accent, I prefer to stick with my Native American accent. I said that wrong. Since I'm born American, I prefer to stick with that accent. Not that I'm a Native American or anything. Did your mother go to college? Yes, she did. Are your grandparents still married? No, as both of my grandfathers are dead. Oh, no, I'm wrong. My Nana, my mom's mom, she's still married. So, yeah. But my other grandmother, who would be considered my far more in Swedish, she's still not married as my grandfather died back in 2007. So, yeah. Have you ever taken karate lessons? Yes, I have. I actually got to yellow belt. The question is, do I still remember a lot of it? Good question. We'll just have to see. Do you know who Kermit the Frog is? Oh, hell yes, I do. Him and Miss Piggy. Next question. What's the first amusement park you've been to? At the time, it was called Wild World. And then it became Adventure World. And then now it's known as Six Flags in Washington, D.C., which is basically in Largo, Maryland. That's the first one I've ever been to. And yeah, it's been surreal to watch it go from like a small amusement park to a really big one. I know it was a safari before it had rides and stuff, but I wasn't alive during that time. What language besides your native language would you like to be fluent in? Swedish! Since I live here. Since I live in Sweden, it's a good idea to be fluent in a language in a country that you're living in, so you can understand everything that everybody is saying, as well as understand everything that your kids who are being raised bilingual are saying. Do you spell color as gray or gray? In other words, if I spell it with an E or an A. I think I go with the A most of the time, but I think for me, I interchange it a lot. Is your father bald? No. Do you know triplets? Yes. When I did nursery for my church back between 2000 to 2005 or so, at one point I had triplets in my nursery. And the funny thing is, two of the triplets were identical while the third wasn't. The third didn't look anything like the other two. Moving in. Let's see. Do you prefer Titanic or The Notebook? Titanic, only because of my interest in history and disasters. Have you ever had Indian food? Yes, I love it. What's the name of your favorite restaurant? Oh, jeez. I like Jerry's Seafood in Maryland, and I like Bamboo, which is an Asian restaurant here in Sweden. Where am I at now? Have you ever been to the Olive Garden? Yeah. Do you belong to any warehouses stores? No. And we don't have anything like Costco's or BJ's in Sweden, really. What would your parents have named you if you were born the opposite gender? I know this one. My name would have been Ryan. I think Ryan Charles Kerrigan, if I remember correctly, because I found some books where my mom kept notes in when she was pregnant with me, and she would have named me Ryan if I had been a boy. If you have a nickname, what is it? Lynn, basically, because I'm named after my great-grandfather, Lynn, and so I go with that name, and I also go with Lynn's or Lenny. Who's your favorite person in the world? Jesus Christ, that question. Well, I'm going to do like I've done with some of the other questions. I have too many favorite people to say just one. I love my parents, and I love my brother, and I love my kids, and I love my significant other. I love my best friends. I love you fans, and all this other stuff. So, yeah. Would you rather live in a rural area or in the suburbs? Rural area. But I'm fine with living in a village like this one. This is a village I'm currently living that has like a population of slightly over 1,000 people, so that's good enough for me. Can you whistle? Yes, I can whistle. Do you sleep with a nightlight? No, I don't, really. Do you eat breakfast every morning? No. I'm not a breakfast person. Do you take any pills or medication daily? Yeah, I have mild asthma, but even though I have mild asthma, I take something called Giona to prevent the asthma from becoming worse. So I have to take that twice every single day. And I also take Biventol, which is the inhaler that is supposed to make your airways open up more if you're having an attack or to prevent an attack. And I especially have to take it before I go to bed because otherwise I wake up gasping for breath. So, yeah. And then in my arm here, I have a birth control implant that prevents me from getting pregnant. So, because I'm done having kids. What medical conditions do you have? Jesus Christ, that's a personal loaded question. Wow. I have asthma. And I think that's the only medical condition that I need medication for. And then I have other fun stuff like depression, anxiety, OCD, and paranoia. Which I was going to make a video originally telling you guys about my issues, but then I decided not to do it. So, yeah. How many times have you been to the hospital? Well, this past year, when I had pneumonia, but they wanted an x-ray, and then they realized that something was off, even though nothing was coming up on the x-ray or the blood test or anything. I had to get a lung scan, and that showed I had pneumonia still. When I was hospitalized for having, not for having, but I bled out during a miscarriage in 2010, and I needed a blood transfusion. Arthroscopy surgery on my knee. So maybe about 3 times at least. Yeah. Have you ever seen Finding Nemo? Yes. Where do you buy your jeans? Anywhere that's cheap. I don't have a preference. What's the last compliment you got? That is a good question. Oh, I got a compliment this morning from my son. He says I run really fast. He says I'm fast and he finds it cool. Do you usually remember your dreams in the morning? Yeah, especially the really bad ones. What flavor do you enjoy? What flavor tea do you enjoy? Anything that tastes good. I like Earl Grey. I like Russian Earl Grey. I like regular Lipton tea. I like green tea, especially Orient green tea. I like chamomile. And I like some of the ones that I used to sell at Starbucks. So yeah, I don't have just one favorite. I have a lot of favorites. How many pairs of shoes do you currently own? Not as much as my significant other. I can tell you that right now. What religion will you raise your kids to practice? I personally want to raise the kids to have a mentality that basically Unitarian Universalists have, like I do. And that is, there's no absolute faith out there or lack of faith. You have your own personal truth, your own personal journey. And as long as you don't go in a killing spree in the name of your faith, I don't care what you worship, basically. So yeah, I kind of want to raise them with that mentality, even if they become something else as they get older. How old were you when you found out that Santa wasn't real? 8. Why do you have Tumblr? I don't. Just because I have YouTube doesn't mean I have Tumblr. So that's about it for right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you like it, hit like. If you subscribe, I'd be absolutely delighted and thrilled. And I'll see you guys later on. Bye-bye.